All right, let's dive into a story that is seriously dark and twisted. It's called The Housemaid, and it's all about a perfect life built on a perfect, deadly lie.
So let me ask you something. Imagine you're desperate. You have absolutely nothing. Then a dream job just falls into your lap. The only catch, the house you're about to walk into is basically a ticking time bomb. You gonna take it? Okay, so picture this. On one side of the line, you have the Winchesters. We're talking a flawless public image, a massive, beautiful mansion, all the wealth and power you can imagine. And on the other side, that's Millie. She has literally hit rock bottom. She's living out of her car, and she's got a 10-year prison sentence hanging over her past. This is the definition of a power imbalance. And right at the center of this picture-perfect world is Andrew Winchester. The guy is charming, he's kind, he's handsome. He seems to absolutely adore his wife, even with all her, well, her issues. By all accounts, he is the perfect man. And then there's Nina. Oh man, she is a walking contradiction. One minute she's perfectly calm, the next she is flying into a furious rage. She deliberately makes huge messes, lies about what she told Millie to do, and, get this, was apparently sent to a psychiatric facility for trying to drown her own daughter. The villain of our story seems pretty clear-cut, right? And it's not just Millie who thinks so. Even Nina's own friends are on the record saying, yeah, the woman is completely unhinged. The evidence is overwhelming. The case against her is building, and we're the jury, just watching it all unfold. So with a wife like that, can you really blame Andrew for seeking a little comfort somewhere else? He and Millie steal a weekend away. The affair starts. It feels like this secret escape, a moment of sanity in a totally crazy house. But what they don't get is that this isn't an escape, it's a trap. And it all comes down to this one number, 1. One tiny, absolutely terrifying detail that Millie noticed on her very first day. That single lock on her attic bedroom door? Well, it's on the outside. So one morning, Millie wakes up, all alone in her room. She goes to the door and it won't open. She hears the lock click. She's trapped. The crazy wife has finally completely snapped. Or has she? Okay, hit pause right there, because everything you think you know is wrong. What if the victim is the monster and the monster is the victim? What if this entire story has just been a masterful, horrifying lie? Let's rewind the tape. We're talking 7 years of pure hell. It wasn't Nina who tried to drown her baby. Andrew drugged the child and then framed her for it. He was the one locking her in that attic, torturing her for years, convincing every single person around them that she was insane. After 7 years of this, Nina saw only one way out. She had to find someone to take her place. And this isn't just about cruelty. There's a name for this. It's textbook gaslighting. Andrew wasn't just an abusive husband, he was a psychological terrorist. He was systematically dismantling Nina's entire reality until she couldn't even trust her own mind. He is the real monster here. And Nina's plan was nothing short of brilliant. Every crazy act was a calculated move. She made herself seem totally undesirable just to push Millie and Andrew together. And most importantly, she discovered Millie's secret. Millie went to prison for killing a man who assaulted her friend. Nina didn't need another victim. She needed a weapon. Just let that sink in for a second. Nina's goal wasn't just to escape. It was to set a killer loose on her tormentors. She didn't hire a replacement. She hired an executioner. And the plan works perfectly. When Andrew locks Millie in that room, he unleashes a survivor. Millie finds the key and the pepper spray Nina left behind for her. And in this incredible reversal, she sprays Andrew right in the face and locks him in his own torture chamber. The monster is finally in the cage. So it all just breaks down to this, really. The system completely failed these women. Andrew was the monster the system couldn't see. So Millie became the vengeance the monster couldn't possibly escape. This is vigilante justice in its rawest form. So when the police find Andrew's body, it looks like Nina's about to be arrested. But then comes another unbelievable twist. The lead detective reveals his own daughter was once engaged to Andrew. She left him, changed her name, and was never the same again. He knows exactly who Andrew was. And the horror just runs deeper. At the funeral, Andrew's own mother implies she knows what really happened. She tells Nina she once pulled one of Andrew's teeth out to teach him a lesson, and she's glad Nina continued it. The cycle of violence was passed down through generations.
But the story doesn't stop there. Months later, Millie's interviewing for another housemaid job. The woman seems perfectly nice, but Millie spots this dark bruise on her arm. And then the woman says the name of the person who referred her, Nina Winchester.
The woman looks Millie right in the eyes and asks, "Can you help me?" And Millie, no longer a victim, but now an avenger, just smiles and says, "I can." She's found her new purpose in life. And that leaves us with one final haunting question. This story forces you to ask, when the law doesn't protect you, when nobody believes you, who is left to deliver justice? And what are they willing to do to serve it?